Hi, and welcome to our newest episode of Storytime Online. My name is Caleb Schaefer. I'm the Digital Service Librarian for Shreve Memorial Library. And this summer, we're exploring a universe of stories at the library. That's our summer reading theme. So today we're going to share a book that'll teach you all about our solar system, and in particular, the sun. This book is called The Sun is Kind of a Big Deal. It's by Nick Sulek. So let's get started. All the planets and the sun live together in the solar system like a big family. The sun is our solar system's very own star. Seriously, the sun is an actual star. It's the only star in our solar system, and it sits right in the center, holding everything together. Here we got the sun. He's looking pretty cool with the sunglasses on. We got Mercury, Venus, there's Earth, there's Mars, there's Jupiter, and he says, "Can I have your autograph? It's for my moon, Callisto." There's Saturn with the rings, and Uranus and Neptune. So what's in the solar system besides the sun and the planets? Well, we have dwarf planets. They're 5 rocky bodies that are smaller than planets. We have asteroids. They're small rocky objects that move around between Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt. We have meteors. These are streaks of light created when pieces of space rock or metal speed into Earth's atmosphere. If you see a shooting star, it's actually a meteor. We have comets. These are icy rocks that shoot through space, and they leave a trail of gas and dust. There's also aliens. Okay, maybe not, but we're always looking for them. And guess what? Our solar system is just one of many solar systems that exist. A galaxy is a group made up of billions of solar systems. There are billions of galaxies out there, and together they make up the universe. Do you think you can count to 1 billion? Probably not. The sun is the biggest thing in the solar system. It's even bigger than Earth. Way bigger. Way, way bigger. Like over 1 million times bigger. Here's the sun. There's the Earth, and it says, we're saying, "Ow, it burns. This is why I keep my distance." There are much bigger stars than the sun, but all the other stars you see are really, 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 really far away. Really. Really. The other stars are in totally different solar systems and have their own planets. Earth is the 3rd planet away from the sun. Remember Earth? Is that little planet where you and everyone you know lives. So here we have the sun, and here we have Mercury, and Mercury's saying, "I'm the baby." Venus is saying, "I'm the hottest planet." Earth is saying, "I have cats." We have Mars. It says, "Did someone lose a rover?" We have Jupiter. Jupiter says, "I'm gassy." We have Saturn, hula hoop champion. We got the rings going around Saturn. We have Uranus, and it says, "I spin sideways." And then we have Neptune, and he says, "It's cold out here." And then down here we have Pluto, which he says, "I'm still here, guys." Well, Pluto used to be a planet, but scientists decided it didn't quite fit the definition. Now it's called a dwarf planet. Sorry, Pluto. The planets move around the sun like a big racetrack in space. Each planet has its own special path that it follows. That's called its orbit. Some planets are faster than others, but each one stays in its lane. Here we got Neptune out. Here he goes. I really feel like I have to go further than you guys. It takes a whole year for Earth to go all the way around the sun. Do you know how many times you've been around the sun? I have a hint. It would be how old you are. And what does the moon do all year long? So while the Earth is spinning around the sun, the moon is spinning around Earth. The moon goes around Earth 12 or 13 times in 1 year. That's about once a month. Depending on where the moon is in its cycle, we might only see part of it. The rest of the moon is in shadow. When we see the whole thing, it's called a full moon. So here we have the moon going through its phases. The first quarter, full moon. The 3rd quarter, the new moon. The sun never stops working. It does a ton of important jobs for Earth. In fact, we wouldn't be around without the sun. Here's the sun with a long laundry list of everything that it does for us. And it says, "Are you sure you need all of this from me?" And Earth says, "Yes, every second of every day. Please and thank you." And here's the other planets, and they're saying, "Why is Earth so important?" 2 words, plants and animals. That's 3 words. Jupiter's still working on that autograph. And what's this line for? That's what little Neptune says all the way out there. The sun gives us light so we can see, but it takes about 8 minutes for light to get to us because the sun is so far away. Here's the sun up here, and here's us down here on Earth. It's worth the wait. Earth spins around in a full circle every day. That's why when it's nighttime for you, it's daytime on the other side of the planet. So here's the Earth, we have night and day. As you see, the night is darkened. And here's the sun, and says, hi again, how was your night? And guess what? As one side of the Earth spins away from the sun, it looks like the sun is setting there, and it becomes night. As that side of the Earth spins back toward the sun, it looks like the sun is rising. And you guessed it, it's breakfast time. The sun is always there, even when you can't see it. Sometimes it looks dark outside during the day because the sun is behind the clouds, but it's still there. So here's the sun, and he says, "Hey, move it, clouds. I was making shadow puppets." Once in a while, it gets dark in the daytime because the moon gets in the sun's way. That's called a solar eclipse, and it only lasts for a little while. So here we have the moon jumping in front of the sun, the moon saying, "Look what I can do." And the sun's saying, "Yes, yes, we're all very impressed. Now keep moving." Keeping us warm is another really important part of the sun's job. The sun is hotter than you can imagine, way hotter than fire. Its temperature reaches millions of degrees at the center. Some places on Earth are warmer than others. The parts of Earth closest to the equator are the warmest. The parts of Earth closest to the North and South poles are the coldest. So here we have the North Pole, and then we have the South Pole. And guess what? This is what's called the equator. Well, see that red line around the middle of Earth? You see that? That's an imaginary line that people invented, called the equator. It separates the top and the bottom halves of Earth. So now we know it's colder near the poles of Earth and warmer near the equator, but why? Well, the parts of Earth near the equator are getting the sun's heat from straight on. The North and South poles are getting the same amount of sunlight, but it gets spread out over a bigger area. Since these places have to share the sun's heat, they don't get quite as warm. So here we have the North Pole, which gets less direct sun. So of course we have all the ice and snow up there. Then we have the equator. We get more direct sun on the equator. And then down there we have the South Pole, which we get less direct sun down there. So we see the ice and snow. Looking at the world here, this would be the United States. Louisiana would be kind of south here. So that's why we're getting pretty close to the equator. That's why it'll be pretty hot throughout the summer here. So while Earth is moving around the sun, it is spinning on a tilt. That's why we have seasons. There are 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Because of Earth's tilt, the top half and the bottom half of the world experience the seasons at different times. So when the bottom half of Earth is tilted toward the sun, it is summer there. This also means that the top half of Earth is tilted away from the sun, which makes it winter there. So here we see the top half is tilted away, and what do you mean it's winter? And here we have the bottom half tilted forward. It says, "Happy summer, everyone." Oh, the sun's work isn't done yet. Every day, the sun also has an important job in the water cycle. Here we see condensation, precipitation, and evaporation. So what happens during the water cycle? First, we have evaporation. Heat from the sun causes water to mix with air, turning it into vapor. That's called evaporation. Then we have condensation. Then the vapor gathers together to make clouds. That's called condensation. Then we have precipitation. Finally, the water comes back down as rain or snow. That's called precipitation. The water cycle is important for all living things, but especially for plants. Plants need water and sunlight for photosynthesis. That's a big word, but it's also a really big job. What can I do for you today? A little photosynthesis, please. I totally love dirt. Dirt is awesome. I love it. What do I owe you? Oxygen. Photosynthesis is when a plant uses light from the sun, water from the water cycle, and carbon dioxide from the air to make food for energy to help it grow. During photosynthesis, plants make oxygen. That's what animals and people need to breathe. Take a deep breath. You just breathed in a lot of oxygen. Oxygen doesn't have any taste, but it's always there. We can live without it. We can't live without it. If the sun wasn't helping out with photosynthesis, we wouldn't have oxygen. Here the plant says, "You're welcome." The sun's pretty great. It's always around, keeping the whole solar system together. It gives us light and keeps us warm. It helps bring us rain and grow plants to produce the oxygen we breathe. It's such a big part of our lives that we wouldn't be able to live without it. The sun works really hard to help us out, and that's kind of a big deal. The end. Well, thank you for joining us here today for Storytime Online, and we'll see you sometime. We hope you come visit the library this summer. Thanks, and bye.